tell me about your first experience with horses and how you fell in love with them.
Yeah, absolutely. At age 2, I took my first pony ride at a pumpkin patch with my parents. And then at age 5, I decided that I really liked horses. My oldest brother at that time was riding, so we would to go and take lessons with him. And then we purchased our own horse. Well, they, as my parents, they purchased us a horse. And then I spent all my time at that barn learning how to brush, saddle, ride, and just the meaning of hard work, and figured out that I really loved horses. In about 2019, I decided I was going to try cutting, and I cut for a couple years. And then I decided to jump feet first into this rodeo queen thing.
So tell me about that, jumping feet first into a new part of the sport that you didn't necessarily know a lot about. How was that?
Absolutely. Let me explain a little bit more. I ran for a local title and didn't end up getting it. I just rodeo queening wasn't really what I was expecting it to be. There's a knowledge quiz you have to study for, so you know a little bit more about the industry itself. There's a pageant involved, so like fashion shows, public speaking, and tons of interviews. So that was something I wasn't really familiar with, but I didn't end up winning the local title, and I decided to learn more and try to grow more as a young woman. So I ran again for another title, Thurston County Posse. I represented them in 2023. And then I was like, okay, I really love this. How can I do it on a bigger scale and do it more local and like hold a, not necessarily like a real title, but like a bigger title? Because at that point I was a posse queen and I wanted to hold like a PRCA title or a state title. So I wanted to do something just a step up. So I jumped my boots first into this rodeo queenie thing, and I ran for Miss Teen Rodeo Washington. I competed in a 3-day long pageant, which included horsemanship, knowledge quizzes, public speaking, interviews, and tons of other things. Like we even had a little dance routine, which I'm not a great dancer, but I did manage.
Very good.
At the end of the day, at the end of like the weekend, I was able to take home the title, and I've been representing Washington and rodeo and my platform, Beautiful.
That's amazing. Congratulations. And tell us a little bit more about your platform, Beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm calling it Beautiful, like you're beautiful, but I'm spelling beautiful with you in it, like YOU, just an emphasis that being yourself and being uniquely you and authentically you is where the beauty comes from. And I think that beauty can be enhanced when we show kindness. So I've been writing on my autograph sheets, beauty equals kindness, because beauty is just from coming from the inside. You're beautiful when you show kindness, and you're beautiful when you're not trying to fake being yourself.
Absolutely. And you're 17 years old and you are tapped into something that a lot of young people are shying away from these days, tapping into the beauty and the genuineness within yourself. Why is it so important, especially for our youth today, to be themselves?
Well, I think that we just live in a society where it's acceptable to be anything you want. And I choose to be myself. And I just want to encourage everyone else to do the same thing, because everyone else is truly already taken. So when you take a step back and go, oh, this is who I am, how can I make myself better? I don't need to pretend to be anyone else. I think that's the message I want to share with others. And hopefully by them seeing that I'm going to be myself, maybe we'll even inspire them to be themselves too.
Absolutely. We have a question
Okay.
from BW Horsemanship 101. He wants to know, how many young Black female cutters are there?
That is a great question. Well, I do not know the exact amount. I know during my time in the cutting industry, I was one of the very few, the select people of color in the industry. And most of them was actually made up of my family. I'm adopted and I have multiple siblings of color, and they also chose to cut with me. I have 2 brothers during that time who cut. So we did make up a quantity, like a little bit, but I do not know the exact percentage of female cutters. But I do know within the rodeo industry and just the horse industry in general, we are a very small portion currently, but I'm hoping to see change in the future.
Yes. Why do you, speaking to that, why do you feel that the number is so low?
I don't know an exact reason, but I do know that it's sometimes harder to envision yourself in places of power, or even places that you want to be when other people tell you you cannot get there. I know that from experience. I've had people tell me I can't get there, and I'm stubborn. And with the help of my parents who said I could, I did.
Yes.
But I think it also helps extremely when you have a great support system.
Absolutely. Talk a little bit more about your support system when you decided to make the move into the pageantry of it.
Yeah, absolutely. My mom had a big influence on just shaping my understanding of what it meant to be beautiful, and like just telling me about the qualities of myself and allowing me to even find them, just allowing me to be myself and not expecting me to change or wanting me to change definitely helped kind of shape just what I want to promote. As for like inside the equine world, I think just seeing the cowgirls doing their thing really just inspired me. I love horses. I like watching rodeo, and I love cows and cutting, and I just love horseback riding. So I think like a lot of things factor into why I wanted to run and just be involved with horses in general. But I will say there are a few cowgirls, especially, who have had a huge impact on me, like my current title holder, Miss Rodeo Washington Piper. She's been a big role model. I just really like her. She embodies kindness. And then we had our Miss Rodeo America 2023, Kennedy Riggs, and her platform that year was kicking up kindness. Like she had a reason going into America of what do I want to promote with rodeo. And I
Yes.
think that kind of inspired me like, okay, what's my why? What's my reason? What exactly am I doing this for? So, I mean, there's a couple of reasons I'm doing it, right? But one of them is I wanted to have a platform and I wanted to inspire girls. So I think just kind of looking at these things that factored in, it's just kind of having a full circle moment for sure. But then, of course, Miss Rodeo Michigan 2023 was a cowgirl of color and the first African American to ever step on the Miss Rodeo Washington stage, the Miss Rodeo America stage, first one to ever compete at Miss Rodeo America. So I think watching that and just even getting to know her a little bit over social media and even meeting her in person in Oklahoma City for the Black Cowboys Awards and Gala, I think just really touched my heart knowing there's someone else who's gone through a very similar thing and she wants to see me succeed too. Not only does she want to see me do my best, but she's there to help me do my best. And I think that always helps too.
Absolutely. How amazing. How does it feel like you are one in a few? You're blazing a trail for little girls that look like you. How does that feel for you?
It's kind of a roller coaster of emotions, if I'm being totally honest. I love it. I love being here, but I wish that I didn't really stick out like a sore thumb. And sometimes that can be frustrating. Most of the time, it is frustrating when we stick out. I mean, sometimes it's nice to blend in, but I don't think I would change the path I'm currently walking on for any reason.
Absolutely.
I would say it's difficult, but even just recently at my hometown rodeo, I got the privilege of wiping a little girl of color's tears after she had a very, very rude comment made to her. And it's just kind of like being there and allowing her to see like, hey, I'm here. You might see me, but I'm a real person too. I experience these feelings and I'll still be by your side. So just taking the humility and being humble, I think, is my biggest thing I would like to keep.
Definitely. Well, it's amazing that you're able to take the moments and realize like this is something that I didn't necessarily sign up for, but try to shift your perspective and look at it as something beautiful because you get to decide what that journey and what this journey is going to look like. And I know there are moments when it's hard, but when I tell you there is something inside of you that just says fearless, and you're going to continue to do well. So keep doing exactly what you're doing. Okay?
Thank you. I really appreciate those words.
You are welcome. Last question.
Okay.
For the little girls that want to follow in your footsteps, what are some points that you would tell them to start at?
Well, first, I would tell them don't follow in anyone's footsteps. That's where you get stuck in the mud. It's best to avoid it and blaze your own path. It's okay to face rough times and rough trails, but don't walk in other people's shoes. Create your own path. I think that's the biggest advice I can give to you. yes, admire those trails. I'm not saying don't, because they're beautiful and sometimes they're even broken, and those are the best kind of trails to admire from afar while you're making your own. So I guess my true advice is be yourself, be authentic, but also be like the buffalo, head straight into the storm and be beautiful.
I love it. Last question for real. What advice do you give young Black youth looking to enter into cutting? And what's
Okay.
to get into cutting?
And what steps should you take? Sorry, you cut out. Can you repeat it one
Yep.
time?
So, what advice would you give young Black youth looking to enter into cutting, and what steps should they take?
I would give any youth interested in cutting or even interested in like the equine industry itself just this very simple advice is to do it. Be involved. It's one of the greatest opportunities you can get, and horses are truly empowering, and you learn a lot through them and with them. So I say go for it. It does take a lot, but I encourage you to find someone to take lessons with. Volunteer at a local riding facility. Learn everything you can before you even think about sitting in that saddle, because a lot of the work starts on the ground before you even saddle up. And what I mean by that is, yes, work towards becoming a better horsewoman or horseman, but also I think mentally prepare yourself, because riding's hard and always not losing is hard. And someone being on both, from my experience being on both sides, losing and winning, it takes a toll either way. So I think learning how to be grateful for whatever outcome is truly beneficial as well.
You're amazing. And I, again, always, whenever I speak to you, I'm in awe. And I wish nothing but blessings and amazing things to continue to happen in your life. And I can't wait for us. Hopefully, we can get you to Hartford at some point, and hopefully, Mrs. Kelly and I can come out there and see you. But you are so dope, and we're so proud of you. Keep doing the amazing work that you're doing. And for those that want to follow you on social or keep up with you, please let us know where we can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. So on both Instagram and Facebook, you can find me under Miss Teen Rodeo Washington. And I encourage you guys to follow along, share my profile, and if you have any questions, reach out, because we can put you on the right path or at least help you.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss Jessa. We love you. We appreciate you and hope to talk to you soon.
Hope to talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your
You
day.
too. Good night,
Yep.
everyone.